second match with Duel Links.
Oh, that's really...
No delays, no serious reloads. Taz Kalevika goes to the line. Taz takes it back.
Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live with Bricks and Potatoes versus Divine for Team Wars Season 7, Week number 2, and I am joined by none other than the monkeyboy44. What's up, monkey boy? How you doing?
Yo, I'm good. I got a good night's rest. I woke up. I had an entire bottle of Heinz ketchup for breakfast to prepare for the co-cat.
Oh, too much information. Don't tell them about our personal lives now.
Oh my god. Hi, Heinz, how are you?
I'm doing well. Very happy to have you this morning. And, man, you have got to see these rosters, man. I'm going to slide on over here. I got from Bricks and Potatoes coming in. Speaking of which, they are 1-0 with a +1 round differential. And coming from that team today, we have... Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Right,
listening.
We have Gift. We have Grucius. The MCS winner from last freaking night, Grucius. We have Andy freaking Sang with the manly wang. Then we have Panas. And lining up that stacked roster, we have Dead Fun. And I know what you're thinking.
Pretty good roster.
How could a roster get even more stacked than that? I know you're thinking that. You're like, Heinz, how can we have a roster to even match this level of godliness? Well, how about if we added 2 actual gods from Divine, who's coming in at number 2 in their division, which is the Wasteland division, 1-0 with a +2 round differential. That's how competitive this division has been. And here's these gods. Living up to their actual name, Divine has brought 2 Divine Beasts, not 1, but 2. Victor Lee and Max K, and then to round that out, they have Fake Zix, Luxa, and Ander.
There you go. I mean, that's a recipe for a good match coming up, or a good war coming up.
So
It should be.
I'm pretty excited about that. And also, Juked in the chat. What's up, Juked? How you doing?
Yo. Also,
And,
shout out to Gift for his top 16 yesterday.
Ah, true.
Not to be fully overshadowed by Crucius's awesome win. Congrats to you, Gru.
And it looks like Kit is going to be our starter, and I think it was versus Victor Lee. So we got a pretty good starting matchup here.
Nice, that'll be solid.
Yo, Mikoto in the chat as well. What's good?
Hello.
So, did you get a chance to watch most of the MCIs yesterday?
Yeah, so as soon as I went out, I started watching kind of the rest for like Top Cut and all that. And yeah, so I mean, I saw most of the topping matches, at least like most of top 16, top 8, and then for sure top 4 and grand top 2.
Very nice. I actually had a stream last night, so I missed all the action.
Ooh, dang!
Last night, so
There's a lot of spice around time limit rules.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the one thing I did end up catching. It was I was watching the UFC last night, and there was it was almost more action in the Ritual Beasts channel than
That was
in
a
the-
pretty
in the
good channel
actual
last
fights.
night.
And I got to make a couple jokes in there and have some fun. So
Yeah, I get one good joke in there, I think.
it was good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, apparently we have to put an asterisk on Crucius's name. That's the one thing I caught from that. But I think I'm going to avoid doing that for the stream today. Juke says he let me down yesterday, but I don't think so, man. I saw Juke in a top cut. I did not feel let down even slightly. So, congratulations, Juke, on that. I believe it was a top 16 performance, something like that. I'd have to look at the bracket again. I'm fairly certain I saw him in the top cut.
I just pulled it up. Looking like a top 32, which not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. Very respectable. And we have Gift versus Max
Yeah.
K, actually. And they keep switching spots, and it's actually annoying the heck out of me, because I've switched this around twice already. Alright, so Gift on the bottom, Max K on the top, and let's get this underway.
Yep.
Gift an actual gift from the gods, and Max K an actual god, so I don't know who wins this.
Let's see what they're playing first off. Looking like likely a Crystron versus.
It's got to be Dark Magician, right? If this
okay,
is
Dark Magician. Yeah, I was gonna say either Shira or Dark Magician, but yep.
Now, Max K did challenge me once to a money match with Dark Magician versus Crystron, so he's very confident in his Dark Magician matchup against Crystron's, and he definitely has his work cut out for him here with Gift, a very, very strong player. So let's see how he does.
Yeah.
It does look like he opens full combo here.
Yeah, it's looking like a real strong opening, so I mean that's obviously ideal for any Dark Magician player. That being said, depending on how well specifically Transcendent Crystal Crystrons can set up, they should be able to put in some work here as well.
Yesterday, during a match, the very first match, we saw Simon open up double Gen X controller from Switcheroo and see stealth attack Crystron. It's like 1.2% chance of happening. Game number 1. There
was, I think, 2 or 3 MCSs ago. I was playing Saber. I lost to somebody playing Transcendent Crystal Crystrons, and I was like, I got hard pooped on, and I was like, dude, you kind of like blew me out with like drawing every single game he opened. He ran 3 Lance and 3 of some other spell. I forget what the other one was, and he always, or 3 Cyclone, and he always opened 3 copies out of those 6 total options every single duel. I was like, dude, you kind of blew me out with all those. He's like, well, I run 3 and 3, so it seems like a fair like chance. And then I did the math, and it was like a 1.4% chance and like 2 like 3 point something percent chances, and I was like, yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah, you could have opened Crystal Beast, which would have been a lot better for you.
Yeah. Or like literally any of those duels, if you would have opened like 1 or like 2, I could have dealt with it. But 3 versus Sabers is so brutal. Just wipe your back row and then Lance here, Alistair.
We've got Scrap Recycler coming out there from Gift, and I just want to give a shout out to the chat. We got 3D, we got Victor Lee, we have The Real Andy, we got Harry A. Okay. We got Tom the Kid, and we got our esteemed referee for the match, and also head referee, I believe, and stream manager Hazy Cosman. So,
Hazy's that
shout
boy.
out to all those guys, and mostly Hazy. He's working hard today, man. You see how many games we got?
Yeah, big weekend. Any MCS weekend, any like Team Wars matches usually get crammed into one day mostly.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to my co-caster from last night as well. We got DLL in the chat, the DNF himself. Duel Links Lounge.
Nice. So I guess the big thing we're waiting to see here is when / what card Max decides to try and banish here. Which typically versus Crystrons you want to end up banishing the Tuner, if you're able to.
Looks like he might just go straight for that Rosenix.
Yeah, so that would be the other option, is depending on kind of how your opponent's hand starts to play out. If if they've already burned like a normal summon, they've already burned like a self special summon, then they're like getting pretty low on options around being able to actually get to a tuner on field. So if you can stop that in the first place, then that's even easier.
Yo, Joel of 21, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. So it looks like he's going straight for that Rosenix. And let's see if there's a Lance or a Cyclone in the hand. We do know that that is something that is very often played in Crystons, as you were just talking about. And I just want to point out, too, that Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer, sitting there with his Anal Bead, says, do not remove cards from your grave. So this burn that's been sitting in that graveyard, not going to be able to get a search here.
Yeah, Kaiku definitely going to put in a lot of work versus Crystons. The Banish here are going to be a huge disruption. There likely is not going to be any real follow-up play too much beyond maybe setting an impact if he can.
Yeah, I mean, the Rosenix Banish does go through clean, and he's used his normal summon.
He's used his soul.
Put a Press Yordle in the grave. It's looking kind of rough here, and he's going into the battle phase with that Scrap Recycler. I mean, I guess he can play around No Immortal, but, I mean, it just kills him next turn. Yo, guys, don't forget, Dom the Kid talking about his lady going to her mom's, and his mom and sister going to his grandma's. So, guys, don't forget to call your moms today.
Yeah.
I shall extinguish that.
Oh, the self-CC.
Is this at the end of the battle phase?
I don't know why end of battle phase, but alright.
It says, I don't need a circle. The Rod tributes off the Kaiku. Oh
yeah.
My.
We go into a Rod. So worth noting is that even with Kaiku, it was 100 short of lethal. So, though I guess I probably would have done an end phase, that probably doesn't matter too much overall.
I mean, it wasn't like
the self-CC to stop any follow-up might be helpful here.
And another Navigasian coming through from the top of Max's deck.
I set a card on the field. Let us battle.
Now, we didn't see any use of the Transcendent Crystals from Gift as well. Does that imply that the Crystal Beast is in the hand?
Allow me to proceed.
Potentially?
Or was he perhaps playing around Kaiku being involved? Oh, expanded! Gonna get lethal right now!
Oh my. Okay. Or he just has lethal.
There it is!
Max God.
Divine coming through with Max K. Didn't even make a sacrifice. I'm pretty sure we gotta check the rules on that one, but Max K taking it up 1-0 over our friend Gift. Waistband expanded. I mean, Dark Magic expanded.
Duel Links Lounge saying his rod expanded.
Whoa.
Pretty good one. I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Max K's rod expanding?
Yeah, as much of that as I can get, really. Ideally on stream.
Absolutely. Dom the Kid says he bought his mom flowers and made her breakfast. Made French toast with bacon. Very nice.
Very thoughtful.
It's le pain en français? Is that French bread? Le baguette. That's not a slur. That's French bread. Oh wait, I took a deck from Max, and I'm supposed to take a deck from our friend Gift here. So gifting a win to Max K there for game number 1.
Well, we're trying to, I guess PNP's trying to figure out if they want to repeat that or if they want to send in Gift's next deck. Probably largely depends on what that next deck is.
Yeah, that Crystron matchup, it's really interesting. Because if Crystrons can set up that impact and play around the No Mortal, it becomes a lot harder for Dark Magician so long as you know, the Rod doesn't touch the graveyard. They have to have the Rod in the graveyard, No Mortal live, and you know, no impact in the grave to really start making things happen against Crystrons. I don't think most people are playing Knight's End Sorcerer right now, which can also chain block the impact in the grave. So you're really left to the Rod in the graveyard. And, you know, Crystron's having so many monsters that can have 500 attack. They can easily play around even a Curtain No Mortal by dealing 1100 to themselves going into that Rod. So they can play around No Mortal.
Yeah, it's by no means the worst matchup, but Crystron's do need the ability to get going a little bit. If Dark Magician goes first, full combo, and is able to, you know, stop Crystron's with a single disruption right there, then that's when they really start to struggle.
And it looks like he's not going to repeat going into an Ishizu deck.
Okay. Check the card count, so 20. So likely either Shiranui or Dark Magician as well. There could be a few other options as well, but those are probably the most common, especially at a 20 card count.
Victor Lee in the chat going off. And Max opening up
as
once
usual
again with Dark Magical Circle. I like that he's like, we want to create a dynasty. So what would you call that dynasty? It's Lee plus K, so is that the Leak Dynasty?
I just call it Dynasty of the Gods.
Yeah, I mean, the
Holy Dynasty.
Ooh.
There it is. Alright, we've got a circle, searching and navigation, doing some stacking. Stacking probably doesn't matter if he's able to use nav.
Instant Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer double set.
Because why not? You know?
I mean, this is what we come to expect from Dark Magician at this point. You open well, and then your opponent has to deal with it. And Max has played a lot of Dark Magician, man. He knows his interruption points. He knows his timings.
That's true. Yeah, the primary thing about playing Dark Magician is that if you're gonna do well with it, really the big thing you need to know is when to disrupt each deck or each archetype. So like knowing, for instance, like disrupt a tuner versus Crystron, or disrupt a card to stop them from even getting to a tuner if they don't have a follow up, or plenty of other things in other matchups. But yeah, it's really knowing when to use that disruption specifically.
Oh, it looks like a mirror match, and Max opening up that Cosmic Cyclone on that circle.
Yeah.
Says, I am the lone holder of these rings, my friend.
Now the real question here is if that nav is live. So the Cyclone, obviously a major setback, but I mean if he went first with full combo anyway, then really doesn't matter too much, even with the Cyclone.
Yeah,
if the nav is dead though, then this becomes a much more interesting duel.
I don't know if you caught the Herald of the Abyss.
Oh, okay.
Dirty Harry of the Darkness coming through. Now, I don't know if you caught the matchup between Pharaohs and Bless RNG earlier this weekend.
I hadn't. No. Well, maybe a little bit.
But poor Shao's went in against Cubio, and Cubio went first with double navigation, and Shao's Cosmic Cyclone the circle circled himself, set 2 of his own navigations, and then Cubio flipped up double nav, and it was just the most tragic thing, you know. Shao's opened up the way to get rid of the circle. He had enough to play around the 1 negate, but of course there's 2. And it was just, you know, I'm on the Pharaohs now, but I still couldn't hurt, you know, it couldn't help but pour out some liquor for my fallen homie, because that's the most Shao's loss I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just such a good player, but when it comes right down to it, the luck is just not on his side.
Yeah, that's rough. That's real rough. Yeah, that's obviously with Dark Magician in a mirror match, you want to go first with full combo. That's likely just an auto win, but there's definitely a handful of cards or disruptions that the going second player can have to maybe push through that. But yeah, if they've got something like double nav or you know, CC or sometimes Tretch, those can be huge.
We see here that Gift just setting 1 and no navigation from Max K, implying to me that he has no Dark Magicians in the hand. And we did see a slight delay early on in the turn. So what I'm thinking happened here... Oh, it's a Dark Magic Curtain! I was going to say, what I think I'm expecting here is that Gift would have toggled on to check for a quick delay from Max on that draw. And it's an illusion magic, and he's got exact lethal from that Herald.
Oh no.
Activate a continuous.
So where my head was at on that one was that when Max K used Dark Magic Circle on his first turn, there was a pretty decently long delay on before he chose which card he was adding,
There is
which in my mind would have led me to believe that like there's some kind of like decision to be made there. I would have thought maybe he was stacking a Dark Magician and instead
see.
like grabbing Rod or grabbing Nav first.
But he actually
that makes
he
even more
lined it up
sense if
with
he
the
stacked.
Curtain and then the Dark Magician as well.
Yeah.
That's nasty. Max K with a quick 2-0. And I guess I was improperly reading the delay there. I guess I was just seeing things.
You're just crazy,
I'm
Heinz.
just crazy. That's all it is.
In your very old age.
Yeah, it's really something. Maybe I just had too much coffee and I'm just seeing the future.
Ooh, I like that. Is that the secret?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just jittery, I guess.
I hear too much of anything is always a good thing. Too much coffee, you can see the future. For anybody out there with allergies, I take a whole bottle of allergy pills every morning, and that just clears them right up.
It
would
certainly
recommend that.
would. You know, you can't have trouble breathing when you're not breathing. That's my motto.
Exactly.
Also, I don't know if the sarcasm is leaking through. Please do not take an entire bottle of allergy
Please do
medication.
not.
We are not medical professionals.
I wouldn't
we
recommend
are
it.
Yu-Gi-Oh streamers. Do not take medical advice from Yu-Gi-Oh streamers ever.
Probably a good catch. Just to be safe.
It
Alright,
goes so far as to say, don't take advice from Yu-Gi-Oh streamers at all. Just don't
On
do
anything.
it.
Yeah.
just nothing. Ever.
We're terrible people. So Max K beginning his holy trinity right now.
His reign of terror.
Yeah.
This is a tyrannical god we're talking about. This isn't like a run of the mill Buddha type of holy everybody's equal kind of god. This is like Old Testament Yahweh. This is like coming straight through, nuking entire populations, floods, plagues. This is straight nasty.
Yeah, this is no holds barred, old school.
This is if you want to prove your loyalty to me, you're gonna have to start cutting off pieces of your children. Like this is that kind of god.
What you gotta do, I'm sorry, that's the rules.
This is human sacrifices, locusts. This is not your gentle everyday kind of god, man. This is a different kind of god.
It's a new breed, yep. Ooh, and
he's taking the bottom spot too. He's like,
he's
you know what?
taken.
I've been on top
Yeah.
long enough.
He said, "Now you do the work."
Oh, he's like, I'm gonna be on the bottom. I'm getting the back of my hair messy now. Does Max K have hair?
No, I do believe he actually has like a shaved head.
Okay. Is that an actual thing, or are you just like?
Yeah, no, from like pictures of him at Worlds in Germany this last year.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean,
I'm
unless he
slightly
like grew it out or
fearful.
something, but at the time I know he for sure had a shaved head.
I'm slightly fearful of a German with a shaved head. Just saying.
Fair.
If history has proved anything. Just
Also
saying.
fair. So Bricks and Potatoes taking a bit of time to figure out what they send in though. They're likely in a fine spot given that there's two reasons you take a lot of time. One is you have very little options and you're like, crap, like we have nothing good to send and we have 2 players left, like who's gonna actually be able to go on a run here? But then when you have 4 players left, it's more like, hey, we've probably got a couple options. Whose pairing's better? Whose tech choices are better? Kind of starting to waste some of that. So yeah. Let's see what they ultimately opt on. But
Yeah, it's really not a question of, who do we send in first. It's who do we want to lose first,
that is for
And,
sure the mentality as well.
They say in chess you send the pawns first, and looks like we have Andy Sang as the next sacrifice from Bricks and Potatoes.
Oof.
And looks like this potato going to get turned to hash browns as he goes up against Max K.
Oh my gosh, Andy, we love you.
I'm sorry, Andy. Not like this. He was so young.
Ooh, one more duel coming out from Max K. Say that's a rookie mistake. I use every opportunity I can to tell my opponents to go easy on me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt. I don't want them to go hard on me. I'd much rather beat them.
You got Rain Mandy Sang coming through to take on Max K. I have never casted, and don't take this as a personal slight, but I have never casted with a person with as much attention to detail as Andy Sang. It's absurd.
That's fair.
Rub my hand. I activate a continuous.
That's definitely fair.
MA says Andy is a tater tot compared to Max.
What shall I play?
Damn, MA out here looking like a hater tot.
Attack position.
Am I right?
My monster's effect.
And we got Max opening up circle rod. Now he did whiff on the circle, didn't add anything off of it, so he's forced to use his rod to search out the Navigasian.
I end my turn.
Just one set. That means he's got to have monsters in the hand, right?
Yes, most likely. Okay, so Cyclone coming out.
Very well.
And it was a dead Nav, and it's Stratos.
My monster's effect.
Yo, this is already over. And also, Immortal Gustavo, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that.
My monster's effect activates.
Yeah, one mask change, and that's already game. Let's see what else he has the
Can't
ability to
you
do, though.
just whack him with a Trinity? How much is that? That's a lot. 5,000 over
34.
34. Okay, math isn't my strong suit.
My monster's effect activates.
So he
My-
could whack him with the Trinity.
My
I don't know that it
lovely
gets where it
lady.
needs to
Well, I
be.
mean, he's got a Malasias in the grave, so, I mean, you can just Trinity and then Malasias him. Oh, bop! 800 to the face.
My monster's effect activates.
Yo, Wolf the Legend in the chat as well. He says, get more phones? Oh, to MA, because he
more phones.
says, too many good games going on. I can't watch all of them on mobile. Look, when you got Hines and Monkey Boy casting, there's only one game you need to watch. When you have
priorities.
Victor Lee and Max K on the same roster as, and they're going up against Bricks and Potatoes with Grucius, Andy Sang, Panas, Dead Fun, and Gift, there's only one war that deserves to be watched. And it's this one,
Mark-
but also support Duel Links Team Wars.
Mark, do you know how toxic this chat is going to be later? Once eventually Divine loses their first player?
Have lost.
That's impossible.
This was unexpected. But most
Could happen.
players have.
All I'm
Destiny
saying.
is served.
Gods can't bleed. Everybody knows that.
I do know sometimes when there's a good handful of streams going on, sometimes Team Wars will set up like the multi-link type setup.
I do believe that Hazy is advertising it in the chat right now. Says you can use the multi-Twitch
Oh,
link,
nice.
or wait until we upload all the games on Duel Links Team Wars Season 7 category, Mr. MA. That's some. Oh, are they already playing again? Max, you're crazy. How did you switch that so quick?
That's wild.
You think he submitted the same deck twice just because he's nasty like that?
For a minute I thought he might have, but it's looking like it's something else.
I'm sorry, Hazy. I don't know what EU means. Can you just translate everything you're saying into a time zone that actually matters? EST only, please.
Metric system, come on.
So we do have Andy coming in at 1-0 now.
Mm-hmm.
The undefeated. The undisputed.
It's looking like Max likely choosing to pop in with Sabers now. 22 card count. Destiny draw Yugi, most likely.
So you think that has a good matchup versus Heroes here? Who do you prefer?
So Heroes versus Saber. Heroes is not bad, or Heroes. Sorry, Heroes versus Saber. Saber is not bad in this matchup at all. If they can put out like a decently protected Kaliga, Poseidus puts in some work as well. I'll tell you what's not good is just dropping a Palace and a Malehu.
Yeah, you really have to pick that interruption timing well, because that's that increase causes a lot of problems, and you can't just flip down anything all willy-nilly.
Yeah, I mean the the real troublesome thing is that like usually heroes can play through 1, sometimes up to like 2, 3, 4 interruptions.
And there
just
goes
depending
the
on
one.
how crazy their
because,
hand is. Yeah.
And he lets it go through. That implies to me that he does have an element saber in the hand, because otherwise you would just mill something, right? Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, most likely. And with the card count in his hand as well, that also is a decently strong implication that he likely has something, though probably not a Malehu, so I would expect him to drop like a fire or water as the cost.
Alright, so Monkey Boy
He did have
predicting
to-
hot water in the hand of Max K.
He did have to search the Malehu, so that's another thing that says that like this duel probably is not going to make it too far, is that Max K also unfortunately does not have a battle phase next turn, so even if somehow he can survive with this one disruption, I mean, it's just really not looking too hot.
Speaking of heat and hot water, you know, I heard Max K that he drinks his coffee in the morning without a cup. Just straight from the hand. That's crazy. Boiling hot
That's
coffee.
really crazy.
Yeah, just palms it. His hands are so massive that he actually has a full cup of coffee in his palm and just takes it down just like that. That's the
Wow.
power of the gods, man.
That's the dream. I've been practicing, trying to like work up to that. I start with like lukewarm coffee, progressively over the months I've gotten to warm. But that's new level.
Yeah. I heard Max K lost his virginity before his dad did.
Wait,
That's
counting.
right.
Galaxy brain.
Yeah, actually 3D, he heats it with his eyes.
He doesn't have heat vision or anything, he just commands it.
Yeah, just looks at it.
He scares it into nervousness. It starts, you know, getting all nervous, sweaty, heating up, molecules bouncing around.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
I set a card on the field.
Palms are sweaty.
I set a card on the field.
Alright, so it does search out the poly, does not choose to fuse into anything. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Does
Andy's
not
got
choose
to
to
know
attack
that
either.
when there's an interruption, Andy knows. And he's very calculated. Like I said, nobody with a better attention to detail. And another freaking palace from
Off
Max.
the top.
And he knows that there's no battle phase from Max right now. John Stranger says Max K is working on the COVID vaccine while dueling. Yeah, dueling with one hand, COVID vaccine with the other, and an Alistair the Invoker coming through.
So I do still think that's an interesting decision from Andy, though, because whether or not he was playing around him having an Alistair in hand, I mean, the only reason I can immediately think of to not attack is that you don't want to set up an element in your opponent's grave. I guess we weren't able to read delays, so we assume that he had a disruption in hand for Malehu use. But even still, I feel like it makes more sense to try and kill the Malehu, burn the disruption. Like, Max is going to want to go for Kaliga anyway, so he's got dark access no matter where Malehu is.
Yeah, and kind of unfortunately for Andy there, loses the Celestial in the grave. But
Yeah, that's going to really hurt as far as the follow-up opportunity goes.
I activate a face down card.
Ooh, True Nade. Okay, interesting.
You know, I've seen a lot of heroes foregoing
Ooh.
the True Nade option, but he's got the perfect counter for the True Nade Mirror Wall.
That's wild. Yeah, so especially no mortal heroes, though, are typically opting for usually 2 to 3 Cyclone, and then they might also throw in a True Nade as like a fourth copy.
I fusion summon a monster.
But really, you want to be triggering that no mortal when you can.
And Malehu immediately gonna flip that Adorashan face down.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "You're not reducing me, son."
But see, though, that's the tough thing with the direction that went. Like,
Yeah,
He
you
didn't
might
even-
want to force the things early when your opponent doesn't have a battle phase. And Max K gonna take one from Andy there.
yeah, or a palace either, because like the second palace was top decked, but for all we knew, like there likely wasn't another palace coming. So if you can burn that single Malehu flip, then I don't know. I mean, Andy knows the game state better than we do, just from being in it and seeing delays and knowing his full hand and stuff. But just from an outsider perspective, I'm not sure why you wouldn't push.
I feel like he must have been fairly confident having the true nade, and really the only thing that you play around with the true nade is that mirror wall. And maybe he was thinking, you know, if Max had a really solid hand early on, maybe he was thinking that Max was, you know, putting forth some kind of clue that he didn't have an Alistair. Oh, got info coming through from Andy though. Looks like C Stealth Cristrons. Sorry.
I don't know, because either way, even with the true nade, if you didn't feel confident about pushing through the Malehu disruption, then why leave the Malehu disruption there? Because true nade's not going to stop that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the line of thinking on that. Maybe it's just early. Maybe Andy's just not warmed up yet.
Honestly, for Andy, it is 8:30 right now, so it definitely is early for any of the California guys.
California guys, they're undeniable. And we got that Palace Malehu, a lap in the hand and 2 in the back. That's looking dominant from Max here.
I'm curious why he searched.
He says, fuck a battle phase.
I guess just in case his Palace gets CC'd, but SSA doesn't really run a lot of it. I don't. Huh. I guess we'll see. Interesting.
Now's my chance. My monster's effect activates.
Malehu immediately putting El Smije face down.
Yep. He says, you know what? That's the normal summon. I don't want him getting that free value off of Yumi. Oh my gosh, and that was enough.
And just that paid off for him. Just
Yep.
It's like, I know you don't got self.
That works.
You didn't open it.
Yeah, that's bold to just not play around Solf, but alright.
Well, keep in mind,
Right.
you know, gods are omniscient. He knows. He's all-knowing. So it's really not fair for Andy here. Max already knows what to play around.
Now see, here's the downside of that search last turn, is he doesn't have a battle phase this turn. And he searched a card he didn't use last turn.
Maybe he's just waiting for the C stealth attack.
I mean, I guess, but like, I feel like you don't search turn 1 if you're not going to use the card, and then if he wanted lap, he can search it now, but still attack into the Smyger if he wanted to. Though attacking into Smyger does give a search for a card, so maybe he just wants to leave it on board. I don't know. Got 3 back row and a Malehu. That is a lot of disruption for Crystron to have to play through.
Yeah, and he knows that, you know, as soon as some back row starts hitting the board, he's going to have a lap that he's got to deal with as well.
Mm-hmm.
Smyger
Now,
is successfully getting his effect off. Now, oh, but a Phoenix Chain!
Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's not successful. Yo, skill shot in the chat. What's good, skill?
Hello.
I summon a monster in attack position.
We got another normal summon coming through from Andy. The Rosenix.
Next. Can pop either Smyger or Umi, but will get flipped down from the Lehu.
Just so much in the way from Max. Just like, nope, not that, not this. You're not using that. Oh, but he's got that whale!
Oh my gosh. So, with this many disruptions, I guess we'll see what the other 2 cards are, but now again, I wonder why he didn't put the lap on board. I guess because maybe he wouldn't have been able to use both in one turn. But now the problem he runs into is that C stealth attack can be flipped before lap hits the field.
It absolutely
And so
can.
lap really does nothing.
But the whale is face down, which is definitely advantageous for Max as well. You know, it's not protected from targeting effects now, and it can't be removed from the field by the C stealth attack to protect it, as C stealth attack's effect cannot be used in a damage step, except for its damage step effect.
Yep. Yeah, so like you said, the whale being flipped down means he can attack into it, which is good.
Yeah, because it's
But
at the
that sea stealth
start
attack
of the damage
does
step.
come out, which is going to be a problem. If he would have had lap on field, though, he would have had lap, on field for during this flip up in his draw phase, though, and would have had it live because the palace effect gets refreshed on his turn.
With all these Fiendish chains and mirror walls from Max, imagine if he was playing Magic Planter.
For some extra value.
Hey man, just like, I'm gonna draw Alistair now. Like,
It's like, you know what? Yeah.
I see
would like
you
to
thought
draw
my Fiendish chain was clogging my board. Nope.
Instead, now it's pure advantage.
Now is the perfect time.
Another Smiger. Now, he can only use one Smiger effect per turn, so if he uses this Smiger on the board, the Smiger in the grave not going to be able to get a search for the impact.
Mm-hmm.
Molehu again! Gonna flip him face down.
My continuous trap activated.
And SSA gonna save him this time around.
Yep. But does prevent
Monster's effect
the
activates.
Smiger from getting the pop. Is able to go into an impact, however,
I set a card.
but can only impact back a Smiger, which is not a tuner that can do anything on Max's turn, so threat kind of minimized there. Now, although an 800 attack Smiger does look like an awesome target to attack into, the SSA is able to do some bouncing there, create some issues.
And we do see the laugh coming out now, boosted by that palace up to 1,000 attack, as the machines from Andy are actually being reduced. Why did he change the...
He's switching up the element just to be safe for if he does need to use either Lap or Molehu, and he sends another Molehu. He'll at least get a boost off, another 200 off that extra dark being in the grave now.
I see. And now this whale can go down, but would you even bother putting it in the graveyard due to its effect? Looks like
No,
Max says
so-
no.
Yeah, until you're able to actually deal with it, or maybe even OTK, you really don't want to give them the opportunity to, to get it back.
Monster's effect activates.
Because, yeah, taking out a floodgated whale for 0 damage that likely lets him just bring it back next turn doesn't do a lot.
Special summon a monster. My
It's also another thing about Crystron's is that the more like clogged up their board is, the better off you are.
Oh, for
So
sure.
really the whale is helping Sabers right now.
So often when you're playing Crystron's, a lot of your plays are dictated by, is this going to leave me clogged up?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, like board space.
that is one of the advantages of the Sea Stealth attack build as well, though, being able to play flexibly with your board.
My monster's effect
Mhm.
activates.
Play order here looking good from Max as well.
Oh my-
Pretty
what?
P!
Refs, judge. Hello?
And he's shoveling back his own Molehu too, giving him extra fuel for those negates,
Ooh,
extra
That's
fuel.
kind of cool.
I caught you right in my
I like that.
My
Okay.
continuous trap activates.
We've got an SSA dodge.
Look how dominant this graveyard is from Max. Oh my gosh.
Now, has Max... He did use Molehu effect, correct? Yep, so Impact can actually bring back... Unless he has the Saber in hand for a negate.
And he
Whoa,
wins!
okay.
I think that was a time limit.
I think it was a time... There were a few stumbles along the way that I think were going to cost Max that game. I don't think he had a live... what's it called?
Lap? in the hand.
Yeah, live lap anymore, unless he wanted to do a palace search, which would have gotten continually awkward. That impact could have brought back the level 2, the Citry, which could have gone into something again. Yeah.
I mean, you really kind of have to consider like the impact making that Casitas down to 0 defense.
Yeah, that was another thing, is he summoned
So
Casitas in defense mode, but impact was going to be live, and that was going to be another issue.
But 3-2 score from Max is very respectable.
Yeah, I mean, not bad at all.
So Hazy reiterating the rulings for the season. Every disconnection or 0-second timer is treated as a loss regardless of circumstance. And the teams are reminded of that in the match channel. And that goes for both teams. And I think it's just to deal with potential controversial decisions. So there's no decisions to be made. You disconnect, you time out, you unplug your router. It doesn't matter. You freaking lost. Get your ass out of the table. Right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate if there's any like timeout or if there's any disconnection ever, but I think that just helps keep things pretty clear and straightforward. And for the most part, I mean, that's the rules we've all played under for years anyway. Maybe not quite as outlined as that, but really you don't see a very common instance anymore of like a replay being issued or a like a win being issued if there's a DC during guaranteed lethal on board. Those were maybe more a thing of Duel Links like 2 years ago, but for a long time now it's really been if you DC, you're pretty much just gonna take an L.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that kind of sucks about that right now is during this quarantine with everybody kind of staying at home, and we have Victor Lee himself coming in, by the way, to take on Andy Sang. I was going to say, everybody's on the Wi-Fi all the time. The bandwidth is terrible lately.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've always been a player who plays exclusively from my phone. So anytime I do like an important tournament or something, like in MCS yesterday, for instance, I just turn my Wi-Fi off and I go mobile data because it's more reliable.
It makes it complete sense to me. And that is Grid. Both players coming through with 30 cards. And it looks like it must be Thunder Dragons from Nick Lee. Would that be the deck you send in against Sea Stealth Attack? Like I kind of thought that the Sea Stealth Attack Crystons was popularized due to the prominence of Thunder Dragons in the last KC Cup.
Interesting. I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Am I wrong in assuming that?
I mean, I don't think so, but I'll be honest, I'm not too much of at least a Duel Links Thunder Dragon player or a Christian player, so I mean, maybe there's something about the matchup, I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you on...
Gift score? What is wrong with Gift score? Is he O2? Did I miss something? Must be O2.
Oh yeah, you've got a total of 3 wins on BNP's side, but they've only got 2.
Okay. Well, my apologies.
Basically, what Dead Fun is saying is, hey, can you please reduce Gift's score and give him the unfortunate O2 he deserves, because Dead Fun hates his team.
That's the way I'm interpreting that as well. Dead Fun Therial says Gift is more like a gift of socks and not a car. That's what I'm understanding.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but Dead Fun, much appreciated. I'm keeping us accurate over here.
And Sammy D safely swinging into that dark, not going to give any bad guy sleeves, as this is Tristan. Gritston?
I think Gritston. Yeah. But yeah, the Samurai Destroyer is a huge problem for Thunder Dragons here.
So Max in the chat saying that unfortunately he has a headache and he lost the time. Yo, Stevie in the chat as well. What's good? But thanks for clearing that up, Max.
From my hand, I activate a spell. Nice try. My monster's effect activates. I'm counting on you. I special summon a monster. I'll teach you to stay out of the waters. I synchro summon a
Heinz, you still there? My it's my audio tweaking out on me.
I am indeed.
Nice.
So Stevie asked
making sure.
if I worked on anything with that new Chaos monster. Man, I'm kind of looking at it going, oh, there is a Levianeer. Yo, John, on cue, Levianeer comes through, love in the air. Now, if he destroys that Sammy D, he can't destroy the Insectron, but if he destroys the Sammy D by card effect,
Does just float back.
yeah, it just comes right back. So he's not going to bother with all of that nonsense. So Stevie asking about the new Chaos monster. I think it's kind of neat, because like if you mill it with Thunder Dragons, you can get yourself some searches, baggy sleeves, and you get the banish card from the grave. But like it's weak stats, summons in defense, and you gotta mill it. Like, what if you draw that trash?
It seems like one of those things where it's kind of one of those cards where you're like, ah, like that's kind of cute, but like, you know, I don't know if it makes or breaks like the new meta impact of the deck or anything. It's probably a nice add-on, but
One thing I would say about it that's kind of neat is that it's like Citadel Whale in that no matter how it's special summoned, it does get its effect off. So you could use something like Call of the Archfiend as it's a level 6 fiend. So, or like Super Team Buddy Force Unite. Like those kinds of things could work. And just get
Man, I
like
haven't thought
a
about
spell speed 2 banish.
Yep. I haven't thought about Call of the Archfiend in a long time, man. Back since the Wayne playing Archfiend Dex days.
The tier 0 Archfiend meta?
Tears, yep.
Exclamation mark, question mark?
Actually, another set of cards that came from that box is being played right here, right now with Citadel Whale and SSA.
That is absolutely true. I actually, you know, I opened that box for Sea Stealth Attack, and I ended up with a Prismatic Call of the Archfiend, which forced me to go through that box 3 full times for the Imporers.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I spent probably too many gems on the box back at the time when I was like mostly free to play, and then never quite finished it. Still don't have my 3rd Abyss Soldier.
Ah, bummer. The first tournament I ever won was with Sea Stealth Attack. It was 3-star demotion, and Abyss Soldier came in super clutch.
Ooh, you know what used to be one of my favorite decks of like all time was Flying Fish.
Oh yeah, that was from that
was
box
a really
as well.
fun deck.
Super free to play as well.
It was, and it was actually really good.
It was, yeah. It was one of the better control decks from that era.
Dude, it was so fun to get so much value off just like tributing off like an oyster, blow up your opponent's thing, get a token, do another tribute, blow up something else. Cool deck.
Yo, Fictinium in the chat was good. One of the boys from the Guns Blazing server, a Crystron player as well. So you know, we saw Crystrons in the thumbnails being played by none other than Andy Sang, and he had to come through.
Nice. So really, I think Thunder's starting to run into, well, so we've got Lev coming.
Another Levianeer.
But we can chain the Citri.
He's got a Ryan on the grave too, so it's not even like.
Oh my, okay.
Oh, there we go.
I'm interested. tributes off Lev since it can't attack after using its
I'll
effect.
teach you to stay out of the waters.
Grabs Inzectron.
Special
And the combination of Dark Roar is actually just lethal.
I
And he took the Inzectron here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice try. My
Amatrix does successfully float. And we're going into Sulfethir, which also floats. Now, I was going to say the Ryan in the Grave is an option, but the thing is, Ryan only has targets for a 4 and a 3 right now, which is already kind of burnt.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3 likely... Well,
Summon a monster. Here I go.
yeah, the 3 doesn't have anything it can likely go into. There's Inzectron, but that's already been burned. Some SSA decks choose to run like Brio, but that's not something you can summon off Ryan effect. It's not
Yeah.
a machine.
Herbal mentioning that couldn't he just econ take the Citrine win? I was wondering a bit why he didn't do that. Opting
Yeah.
to blow up... Like, if he had the Citri, he could have just blown up the 2 remaining cards on the board, I guess. Herbal says impact, but Levianeer doesn't target. I guess Econ does. Yeah, there is an impact in the grave. So I guess that was the right play from...
Oh, sure.
yeah. So Ixley calculated. He's a very, very smart player. There's 2 impacts there, so... Herbal's like, Econ targets. Dummy. You gosh darn IDOT. Yeah, Vic's a strong player, though. I mean, he's definitely aware of his surroundings. He knows what his opponent's got in the grave. Still 4 cards in hand for Andy. I mean, that's a lot of potential plays here from Crystron's.
Yeah, 4 cards plus Sulf in the grave. Some impact protection for anything that might come up. Actually, multiple impacts for anything that might come up. Yeah, I mean, that was a huge push from Vic.
I
Like
mean,
you said, Vic's a good player. I'll certainly give him that. But this is just an uphill matchup, man.
the matchup is, but I mean, look at his board right now. Everything gets value, and Samurai Destroyer is gone.
Now is the perfect time.
So I mean, anything that Andy touches right now is just turning into another Thunder Dragon monster.
I set a monster. I end my turn. I draw.
True.
Why would I call my mom Chat? My mom's not dumb. Chat's dumb.
Got him.
Go. I attack using my monster.
Hear that, chat?
My monster's
Just got wrecked on Mother's Day, nonetheless.
waters. Go.
Wait, hold
Oh,
up. He
no.
went into Orion because the Sentries are both banished, and that's lethal. Vic Lee takes it from Andy.
You know what? He did it, and I'm gonna give him some props for that. Not bad, Vic. Alright, so putting Divine up 4-2 over Bricks, that's a strong lead. I mean, it's not insane blood or anything. I would say this is absolutely still anybody's game, but that's
And
they're a
He
full
did get
player
a
ahead.
respectable 2-2 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at that board, and I was just thinking, like, say Andy did go ahead and, you know, had the options to make a Quarian, even though his tuners were in super awkward positions, and no Praziordal to really get anything off that Ryan. Even if he made a Quarian, he still ends up giving his opponent 2 more cards. You know, it's like that board just comes right back, and it thins his deck out, getting him closer to that second Econ, another Levianeer. You know, all these things, a duo that could just be boosted. You know, all it takes is for him to grab Duo and Hawk, summon the Hawk to the board, grab the Duo, and now all of a sudden, his whole board is right back at 3,100, gets over the Quarian. It's really just a nasty spot for Andy to be in as the Thunder Dragons float even on being banished. Which
Yeah,
is
that's
usually
very
how
true.
Crystron's get to win through boards like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Bricks and Potatoes will be forced to send in their next player, but it's not like they... it's
Yep,
not
and
like
they're
they got
sending
some
in versus-
slouches.
They're sending in versus Thunder. So a few options there. I would not necessarily expect Bricks to be running any Sabers, but that's definitely a good deck to throw in versus Thunder. Trying to mentally run through the tier list and think about other options here.
From with players, we have Grucius, who won the MCS last night, Dead Fun, and Panas. So they still got a stacked roster sitting in the back. And if they can get through Evic and Max, I mean, realistically, the worst is over, right? Like, it can't get much worse than that.
You know, who's to say? Definitely some other players who I'm sure will contest that on Divine, and we'll see what they can put up as well.
Yo, Rocky, what's good?
Yo, Scrocky.
So you're saying that Divine is more like a Merrick voice line, as the rest of the members right now are saying that the worst is yet to come?
Dang, is that a Merrick voice line? I don't know my voice lines well enough at all, man. I see him on streams, but I don't ever play with them on myself. I don't play with sound on either.
You know the voice lines help you with your timer? The
Yeah,
voice
I've
lines don't tick your
I've
timer
heard
down.
that. I've heard they don't run your timer down, which is crazy.
Yep.
That's some next level stuff.
That's why I know all my voice lines, you know? I need that extra time. And we have Grucius coming through. This is 2 gold icons going head to head. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
Did you all
That's
pay your
crazy.
pay-per-view fee for this event?
Some heavy hitters in here.
And it looks
Curious
like you
if
have
Grucius
young
is
Yugi,
running.
so looks like probably going to be Element Sabers as predicted.
Oh my
by-
gosh, is it Sabers?
By 8man88 here.
Well, I'd almost say I was wrong. I would say Sabers is a good deck to send in, but I didn't think they had brought any. I'm a little surprised. I feel like Sabers is definitely like a kind of a dying deck right now. But Grucius has put in some work with Sabers in kind of more recent memory, so good man for it. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Like
it's not like Grucius is exactly tied to the tier list. I mean, he won last night with Ritual Beasts. And
Yeah,
we do have,
very true.
A follow from Ricardo Rico. Thank you very much for that. And Shiny Sophion from BMP herself says, "Let's go, MCS champ Gru."
Let's go indeed. Big fan of Gru myself. He, former teammate of mine many seasons ago back on Creeping Death.
Was that a team?
It was the team, you know. We're a dead breed now, but we've still scattered like roaches to other teams.
Yeah, shout out to Insano. What is Insano still playing?
No, so he, as of probably like maybe 3 weeks ago, I think sold his account and quit. He still hangs out with us a little bit in team chat and stuff, but yeah, very sad. That was my like original Duel Links friend.
Bummer.
Yeah. He's doing good things though. He's out there living life. Alright, so Sabers, multiple back row, Malayhu that may or may not be live.
It looks like he's going to go into the battle phase. Probably going to attack into that set monster there.
Yep.
I mean, we did see Vic Lee mill the glow up bulbs. So you got to expect this to be like Jet Synchron or something, right?
Possibly, yeah. There's really only a handful of
Oh, it's a
monsters you would
Raikou!
normal set. It's a Raikou.
As a non-target destruction, so Grucius forced to hit him with that Finest Chain. I mean, we did see
Interesting.
him search the Raikou, right? No, he actually searched a
No,
Raiden
he
Panties.
searched. Yep.
So he milled
So
the
yeah,
Raikou,
we didn't know that.
right? He did mill a Raikou.
let
I
me
thought
nope.
I had seen a Raikou already. Maybe from the last game.
Interesting to note is that Vic's running a Spirit Master just for the heck of it, for that gold Sark pop if he wants it.
He's safe for a level 6 synchro here as well. Floodgate, forced to flip, raiding them panties face down. LCC's a Bryanak.
So a couple of things worth noting here is that this is really well played by Gru in a lot of ways. Rather than swinging into Raikou, he forces it to flip itself up, which gives him the ability to Fiendish Chain it, rather than losing a card.
And Malayhu was live with that Nalu.
Nice, yeah. The other thing, though, is that the Raikou still being on board means that there's a very weak and very awkward level monster that's clogging up Thunder Dragon's board. Because he knew there was going to be a level 6 on board. There's now a level 2 non-tuner stuck on board as well, so it means he only has to disrupt one other thing, which he did with the Raiden there.
The Raiden is flipped face down, and because Raikou stuck in attack position here after flipping itself face up, he is liable to having his grit busted.
Yeah, I would think at this point Gru might swing in to pop grit. It's a little bit of a 50-50 there, but Thunder Dragons have a ton of tributes, right? So like he can likely tribute over Raikou. Interesting, chooses not to.
Yeah, I was gonna say because of the potential tribute summons that you would likely get rid of the Raikou, but I guess you just don't want to open up deck space, right? Because that opens up a potential for Levianeer. You can't tribute summon a Levianeer.
That's very true. Yeah, I guess Lev is the most devastating thing right now, and Gru's out of any super strong defense. Does search another Malayhu. A little bit curious on his rationale there, actually, since he's not going to be able to... Well, since he didn't attack, and he won't be able to attack.
Yeah, he actually opted to add a second Malayhu there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is really always just one Purgatory away from lethal, so...
Yeah, it is. Although Gru does not have a battle phase. I'm curious to see what's in Vic's hand, given that he's not tributing. I mean, he's got two dead monsters on field that would both benefit from getting off the field. Or that he would benefit from getting off the field, I guess.
Battle phase skip, no additional back row from Grucius.
You know what? I'm wondering if the second Malayhu is because the old card in his hand is a saber. Because you can use Malayhu twice, you just can't... Well, you can use two Malayhus in the same turn, you just can't use Palace both times.
Is a very true. Also, if one of them goes down to say a Thunder Dragon Roar, then the other one is still live there.
Yeah.
And really, he's only a Malo in the grave away from being basically two Dark Magicians right now, which is a little bit too rich for that Thunder Dragon Roar's blood.
Mm-hmm. This
flip
one
his own
might...
Malayhu face down.
See, he's debating letting this go through. He's getting low on Saber Fuel. There for sure should be a Malo. Yep, so that was the card in hand, kind of like I was expecting. Sabers typically run usually 5 Sabers, occasionally 6 as the deck count gets higher. But I'm wondering, based on this, well, yeah, I'm wondering if based on the send from hand, if he's probably not running a 6th.
You know, it looks like a Dark from the hand as well from Vic Lee here to thin his deck out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a real chance that, especially in the grit builds, that Vic is sitting on a couple spherical rebos here.
Ooh, dude, what is in Gru's hand?
I believe they are called Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
No, that's gotta be something else.
His genitals. A lot of cash from last night, actually.
No, man, is this like double Invo? Or like Palace?
I mean, you gotta think, well, what would be the... He could have, what, Lap left in the deck?
I mean, maximum. But again, given that he chose to send Malo from hand rather than Lap from deck, since they are both different elements anyway that he would get the boost from, that makes me believe he probably doesn't have Lap. Could be wrong, we'll find out here on this attack.
Yo, Yeetmaker DL, thank you very much for that follow. And he's going in. It looks like there was a delay. And Grucius going to let him get that surge. I think he does have a Lap. And
it's hard to say. I mean, there's...
you kind of have to,
know,
right? Like
5 cards
you're
in,
playing 22
in
cards.
Victor's hand.
The Dark Magician matchup is already so bad. You really need that Lap, right?
See, in my opinion, Water and Lap are almost just as good as each other versus Dark Magician. Lap obviously is very good, but Lap's very dependent on you having follow-up back row to even keep that Lap alive.
Yeah,
It definitely puts in work
the
versus Dark
rod.
Magician. But also, Water is a more generally applicable monster that can put in more work versus something like, say,
Here's
like
the
Cyber Dragon or...
Near. Do we have another Fiendish Chain from Grucius here? No, that chain is resolving, man. No voids,
Oh,
no
no.
Fiendish Chains, and that's a yeeted board. There's a Canadia. Oh, and
Oh, no.
well. He doesn't even use the Raiden, he uses the freaking Lev, man. And there goes the Raiden for a Thunder Dragon Roar, lethal through a Sphere Karibo. Oh, and there's nothing, no delays at all. Vic Lee taking it.
Yeah, man, I think Gru just had some really, really unfortunate top decks there. If I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure he was out of Sabers, and I think that his hand likely had some combination of probably Invocation and Palace in it.
Let's see. I mean, they did send this in as a counter pick. They do have 2 repeats available. Are they going to use them? Well, use one. And now Divine leads 5-2. So Vic in the chat also spetting his own score here. He has 2-0. And Gift says it will indeed be a repeat. You definitely want to use those repeats when you send in a counter deck and it doesn't work out. You suspect that your counter pick is the right play. You gotta stick by that, and we're gonna do exactly that as Grucius uses repeat number 1 for bricks and potatoes. And what just happened? Did we shadow game?
Hello? Please, no.
Not like this.
Can we get some Pepe hands in the chat?
No. Yo, we got Hazy and the monkey on the tables. I'm gonna get on a table too. And I'm gonna say let's keep going. Come on, we gotta keep going. Hazy says you can do this all day.
Exhibition match, me versus Hazy.
Yeah. Let's do that. You guys gotta play OTK
down.
decks just in case.
I'll use my auto duel deck.
Oh, shit, it's actually happening. Oh,
We're doing it.
bonkers! Alright guys, this is not Victor Lee versus Grucius. This is an exhibition match versus none other than monkeyboy44 and Hazy Cosman. And Hazy doesn't
Hazy.
know what deck he has. And we know that Monkey Boy's on the top as we see that Karate, Mat, and Sleeves. Life Point
me.
Boost Alpha?
I no longer need
And
Yeah, man,
Balance?
I'm winning in time, alright? That's my plan. Once Hazy and I take this to 50 minutes, he's screwed.
Wetlands?
Oh my.
Aquactress Tetra?
You're gonna make me read the Aqua Actress cards, Hazy?
Here comes the Aquarium set.
From my hand,
Aquarium set, one set. Oh my gosh, 2100 attack, normal summon. Man, this guy just slapped down a Cyber Dragonfish. Yo, Valtheris,
hello?
thank you very much for that follow. Red Eyes Fusion.
Hazy, you're screwed, man.
What is that set from Hazy Cosmin? That is a Elemental Hero Neos and a Red Eyes B-Dragon. Paleozoic Canadia gonna immediately flip down that Red Eyes slash Dragon, which could usually negate a targeting effect, but not this time, son. Yeah, Bun says Victor Lee playing Red Eyes. Pog. Yeah, we got Victor.
Yeah.
Victor Lee is actually playing Wetlands Aqua Actress, and
No, you want to know what's fun? I would believe that that's based on, the order on a stream of... Oh, it shows different for you. Oh, duh, I'm always bottom. Never mind. For some reason, I thought I jumped on the table first, but never mind. I was going to say, it would be almost believable that Grucius would be running something as crazy as the Aqua Actress. That he found some busted 27-card Aqua Actress build.
we got Aqua Actress Arowana. And
I literally
search. L
don't.
slash 5200 attack. Oh my gosh, this duel's over, man.
I don't want to read these cards, man.
I'll read Aquarium Lightning. If an Aqua Actress monster you control battles an opponent's monster, during damage calculation, your battling monster's attack and defense each become double its current attack and defense during damage calc only. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one Aqua-type monster in your graveyard to special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Aqua-type monsters. You can only control one Aquarium Lightning.
So I have a total of 1 out to this Aqua Actress continuous spell.
So Hideki Bro saying,
Hideki.
what am I watching? Well, we have a shadow game between Victor Lee and Grucius. So what we have is caster versus ref matchup, as monkeyboy44 has taken on the esteemed Hazy, who is running the Aqua Actress. As he slams down a Guppy, he gets to special summon a second Arowana. It is just plussing like crazy.
Dude, this is so sad. I'm about to lose to Aqua Actress.
He's got them. They're basically gadgets at this point. Look at that, 2400. He says, "Nice Red Eyes, nerd." Check mine.
I have 2 cards in this deck that could even be possible outs, and I really need to top deck one.
2600. He is down to 2400. That's exactly from the direct attack of an Aqua Actress Guppy. Imagine losing to a Guppy. What a scrub.
That's it, boys. We're done. I needed to top one of my 2 Power of the Guardians in this deck. That was like my only even kind of shot.
How are you even do that? Like special summon a defense, slam down a...
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. Or if I really needed to, I'm trying to think if I could crash enough times. I could swing with Red Eyes and boost it to 3k naturally, 35 after the first swing, 52 minus 35 to be 17, and then 12 on the next swing, so a total of 3,000 damage, and then a little bit less after that, like 7 off. Maybe. Probably not. I don't think I could have won that at all. 52 is too thick. Well,
Hideki thought it was for real.
I loved seeing Luke Tyler in chat. He goes, what was the exact quote? He said, we sent Aqua Actress to counter their Red Eye.
We've tested these matchups thoroughly. Don't worry, Aqua Actress is the answer. I mean, actually, like, it does seem like it's a pretty solid answer for Red Eyes. I mean, like, Red Eyes is almost strictly a battle-dependent deck.
Yeah, dude, that pooped on me.
Like, what are you gonna do? They are still in the Shadow Realm, indeed. It is, it's Element Sabers versus Thunder Dragons, so...
Yeah, versus a repeated element saber, actually.
This is true.
So we will not be getting to see any spicy 30-minute duels from Grucius if he was running Ritual Beast.
You need the buns APK to play Red Eyes, says the Swifty one. Yeah, he's absolutely correct.
It's true.
So just waiting on that next replay to pop up. I'm going to slam down a street replay real quick, just to confuse people even further.
I like that. Big fan.
And I'm going to take a short break for nature. And this is going to be what appears to be Japanese player versus Zero with 19,000 ratings. So should be good. I'll be right back on the other side of this short break.
And in the meantime, don't worry, guys. I've got you on the casting for this intense street replay. Curious to see what we have brought to the table. Now, I have to watch this from Heinz's stream, so my casting will likely be a couple seconds delayed. But I'll make sure it's still quality for you.
I have foreseen that this duel will end in your defeat.
All right, so HHG. Oh my God, look at that mat and sleeves.
Definitely in the mood for
I can't remember. Do street replays always do the bottom as the winner, or is it either position? Because I'm really rooting for Karate Man Matt.
What shall I play? I summon a monster in attack position.
All right, the Dark Magician whiffs on the circle, or at least relatively whiffs. Yeah, PDS. Okay, it is random. I thought it was. I'm really rooting for Karate Man then in that case. But yeah, goes for the rod search, has the illusion magic. Not bad. Very strong setup. Oof. All right, let's go. Here it is, Cyclone.
My trap activates. Now, I special summon a monster. Very well. I special summon a monster.
Is he doing it? Is there a second Cyclone coming out?
I set a card face down. I'm counting on you, darling. I summon a monster in attack position.
Wait, what?
I shall extinguish that.
Did he just not banish? Did he just not use circle?
I activate a
Did you guys see that too? Oh, Hazy says they finished. I unfortunately am not in control of the stream, but Heinz will be back any second, so we'll get back to the duel as soon as, honestly, probably as soon as Divine picks her, or whoever picks their next player.
When I watch the replay, it's boring. Dark Magician, garbage.
I'm pretty sure DM summoned and then didn't circle banish the field spell for some reason.
Of course.
They got CC'd and they chained Nav naturally.
Okay, so we still have Game 3 versus Grucius and Victor Lee going on, but we have to watch that replay for Game Numero Uno.
Yep.
Or Numero Dos.
Yeah, number 2. Yeah, Luke, I really wish that in replays it just wouldn't always show the bottom player as the winner. I don't know why that's a thing.
And
it seems really dumb.
I also hate that I can't fast forward without the log popping up in the center of the screen, because I would like to be able to fast forward the replay without seeing, you know, X drew X. Did I wash my hands? No.
Wait, are you not able to? It doesn't show
Wash
up on
my
the stream though, does it?
It does. It shows up right in the center of the screen. Like if you were to click the fast forward button on your own screen, you'll see like it'll have like the red and the blue come up right on the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Okay. You're talking about the the on game on stream type. Yeah.
Like PDS, do you wash your hands? You're like, are you not able to? Like, no, I'm not able to wash my hands. I can get the tap going, but I just can't get the how you put the soap on and then rub them together. I can't figure it out. It's
Heinz is
big
learning.
brain.
You give him, you know, it's taken him a couple decades to get this far, but give him a few more, and he'll have it all sorted out.
Honestly, though, I never really understood the point of, you know, washing your hands after you pee. Like, don't you just wash your junk at the start of the day? And you're good.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
That's the point. Like, is somebody going to imply to me? Oh, Jet Li Synchron. Is somebody going to imply to me that My junk is unclean.
Heinz, I would never put that on you.
Thank you.
You've got the cleanest junk of anyone I know.
Thank
All right.
you. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care what anyone in chat says. Those guys are all phonies.
My monster's effect active from my hand. I activate the all right.
It only smells weird when you lift it up. It's just the underside that smells strange. The rest of it's fine.
So this is, for anyone in chat, as we're powering through this kind of replay here, this is Crucius on bottom and Victor Lee on top.
That is true.
I don't know if you need to worry about switching. It should be done soon, but I just wanted to make sure everybody in case anybody pops in.
Memohu keeping that Vermilion face down as he's just boosting everything up. And the tribute set. Dark to get a nice little boosty boost. In the attack declaration, he actually could have played around. He knew that Grucius was playing those Sphere Karibos. And he definitely could have played around that by using that in the battle step, perhaps. I guess he was going to thin the deck out regardless, so it wasn't really that big a deal. Oh, great Invocate Mate as he banishes Jet Li Synchron into Purgatrio. This has got to be it, right?
I would have to imagine he's not really staring down a whole lot of opposition right now. Purg is pretty dang threatening.
There it is.
We'll see. Drops Alistair. Easy Pierce. Easy win.
Oh my gosh, the next match finished too? These guys gotta stop starting games in between, man.
Yeah, next match just finished.
Casey, don't let the next one start. Punch them in the weenie if they try.
Power tool dragon. Let's show 'em we're the
Heinz and I will personally be doing weenie checks after we get done with this match to make sure someone was punched.
If I don't see a bruised weenie by the end of this stream, I swear.
If we don't see one, we're just gonna have to stick around until we do. You guys don't want that.
My turn is done.
It's my turn. I
It's my turn. I'm counting on you. My monster's effect activates.
That's the ticket. I play my face.
Fiendish Chain wrapping up that Alice to the Invoker.
My turn is
My
done.
turn. Okay. I activate.
Ooh, top decks the Squire.
Special. Let's get rolling. I synchro summon a monster. Okay.
That's lethal, right?
Summon a monster. I activate.
Hmm.
I activate.
If my math is correct, if there's no Sphere
Yeah.
Karibo, 5,000 is more than 4,000. And Vic Lee takes that game as well, so that's up to 6-3. The
There
height
it
of
is.
Monkey Boy.
I wish. About 5 inches shorter than that.
Oh god.
No, but Divine continually commanding a strong lead throughout this whole war. I mean, they just are slowly but surely increasing that lead, if anything.
Man, my OBS, I wrote 2-1 for Vic Lee, and Vic Lee is so powerful that OBS didn't even register the 1 on the screen. it just put nothing.
It said no.
It's like, I'm not even going to apply that to the stream. But as I changed the 3, the 1 appeared simultaneously, just out of respect for Grucius' sacrifice. So we still have Panas and Dead Fun sitting in the back for BNP, but their roster is dwindling here, and you have to think, what do you have left for Shiranui? I mean, back row decks, what typically you send in Dark Magician?
For Shiranui, oh yeah, for Shiranui. Yeah, Dark Magician would probably be your best bet if you've got it left. Question is, who do they have left? Panasi and Dead Funly. Okay. Yeah, I guess Dark Magician if they have it. The tough thing at this point is that they start to get kind of low on options, so it really comes down to like which 4 decks they have remaining, which ones they feel like can maybe go on some runs to pull this back.
It looks like Panas coming in with Yubble.
Expecting this to be a U-Bell deck.
Oh, absolutely. Based on the icon alone, it's got to be Yubble. I mean, really though, how does Shiranui beat Yubble? I'm fairly certain it's impossible. That's what I thought. All right, looks like we have Ishizu coming in from Panas.
I'm pretty sure there's some ways, but
No,
you know, we can just ignore those instead.
Incorrect.
Pretty sure, you know, Ballista Squad level 10 might have something to say about that. I don't know.
No, pretty sure it's
Beer
not gonna work.
Master if you run him.
I mean, if you use Ballista Squad, it just floats into a bigger form of Yubble. And how are you gonna do that? How you
multiple times. You just do it again.
What is that talk? What is Swifty talking about? Pretty sure they can make Yubble miss timing. That's impossible.
That as well, yeah. You could also just Ballista Squad Chainlink 2. You know?
There's no such thing as Chainlink 2. Oh, you're just gonna open up multiple cards as you get blown up by a Phoenix? It's an unbeatable deck. It locks out monsters and back row. You guys are so dumb.
I really like to imagine that Heinz has made it this far throughout his Duel Links career without knowing that there's Chainlink 2 or higher. Like you exclusively just you see a card activated, you're like, all right, that's good. We'll see if we can activate a card after that.
That's pretty much why I play Blue Eyes. I remember in the vampire meta, playing Blue Eyes was pretty much exactly that. You couldn't special summon a Chainlink 2 because your Dragon Spirit of Light would miss timing. So you really had to.
Yeah, true. Very true. Alright, then we got heroes doing some hero stuff on board.
Yeah, it looks like that's lethal.
That's
heroes doing
lethal.
what heroes do, and Vic Lee finally goes down. But that is both gods, Vic Lee and Max K, both with a very respectable 3-2 score.
Mm-hmm. Both pulling the team way up.
And Divine leading as they do, 6-4. And that is pretty solid. They still have that counter pick advantage. And as they do lose Max and Victor Lee, they definitely left their mark on this war. And it's not that they don't have their work cut out for them still, as Panas and Deadfun are both very threatening players. But from the other side, we also have Luxa and Ander. While we're asking why did Max lose, though, it was a time limit. See, here's the problem, right? Because gods are omnipresent, they don't actually exist in the same dimension as time. It's like nearing a black hole or being a photon. You exist in zero time. So sometimes a god will have a difficult time with actually understanding the concept of time. They forget that it even exists in this realm. He's not used to it. So a time limit isn't something that he's used to seeing. So that is the actual only way you can beat a god.
Our mortal concept of time,
It just doesn't apply.
It's very hard for them to adapt to. Imagine you've lived through millions and millions of years. Like, we tell you you need to play a duel within minutes versus your vast wealth of millions of years of time. Like, it feels like we gave you, a millisecond to play that whole duel. It's very hard to conform to that.
Time not a concept that gods have to take into account on the regular, It's just and let's be real here too, the sheer intellect of players like Victor Lee and Max K, basically the entire Divine roster, that intellect is so big that it actually creates its own gravitational field. A gravitational field so strong that it actually warps the concept of space-time around them. So time
careful how much you're telling them. You're getting in real deep.
Time
I don't know if they're ready for
really for them. And the closer you get
to the Divine roster, the slower time moves. So we perceive it as moving very quickly, but for them, it's instantaneous.
Everyone, if you're in chat and you've heard this, we're gonna have to Men in Black laser flash you and wipe your memory. I think Heinz has gone too far.
Yo, Mumu with that raid, 67 people, not 69.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
You know,
Not the nicest, raid number, but all the same movement.
It's very good, and we're very, very appreciative. Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you guys
And welcome.
have missed it, yes, welcome. That's very important. Rad says they finished the longest match of the season. Interesting.
Really? Who was the matchup for those of us who have been casting this one or watching this one? And how did it go? 10-9. Defusion versus Immortals. I mean, 10-9 is a queue up for the longest matchup for sure, or a precursor.
And we actually have
3.5.
Fake Six coming in for Divine, and Fake Six is a very common sight in the competitive scene. You see his name in top cuts constantly. He's a very accomplished player. So happy to see him come onto the roster. Unfortunately, though, he's not as notorious as Vic Lee and Max. So I guess the memes are over. These guys are very well known, and we have a lot of things to say regarding those guys. But Fake Six, I would say a little bit less notorious. he's got to up his trash talk game, I think.
A little bit less infamous, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, curious on. It's looking like they sent in Transcendent Crystal Cristrons. See how this goes.
I'm actually a big fan of the Divine guys, Vic Lee and Max K, because they're also self-aware and they're talented players. So they I think they appreciate the memes as well as try to live up to the god expectations and things. They
have fun with it for sure.
I think you have to. I mean,
yep.
It is funny that they both ended up on the same team now too. So it really just amplifies it. It's so good.
That was fate, man.
It had to have been.
That was, last Winter League, Insano planted the seed with that, trying to get them both on the same Winter League team. And I like to think that seed ultimately grew into a beautiful flower.
The beautiful flower that we have now.
All right, though, CC for the single back row. So plays around like a potential TTH or just burns a mass change early.
Now, I'm a big fan of Cosmic Cyclone in the current builds of the Transcendent Crystals, Cristrons, and it's a CC for CC, so I just like that it plays around no mortal can resist so well. It really does help.
Yeah, that as well. Lowering your life points in this matchup is oddly kind of a good thing. Scrap Recycler, strong starter card. See what he chooses to pitch here. Either Sulf, he doesn't have it, or he has a Sulf.
And we don't see any Transcendent Crystals thus far. Perhaps a Fistburn in the hand is going to be traded for a Smiger and a Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. And it looks like that's going to be it. So I have a copy pasta with 110 bits coming through from our friend Radlup. So you're going by Heinz Ketchum now, nerd. Haha, what's up, douchebag? It's Tanner from high school. Remember me? Me and the guys used to give you a hard time in school. Sorry, you were just an easy target. I can see not much has changed. Remember Sarah, the girl you had a crush on? Yeah, we're married now. I make over 200K a year and drive a Mustang GT. I guess some things never change, huh, loser? Nice catching up. LOL. Pathetic. Thank you, Radlup, for the 110 bits. That is enough to buy a house in Canadian dollars, so I appreciate that.
Wait.
I mean, we basically have monopoly money.
Interesting. I'm not too familiar with your monopoly money over there. Your loonies and toonies, right?
Yeah, and the money is strange as well.
So, looking like Cristrons are popping off with pretty much everything they could ask for in a an opening combo. CC for a back row, scrap recycler. A lot of good searches going on.
Luke says 200k is also enough to be a competitive Duel Links player. I'd say almost. It's almost enough.
It'll, yeah, if you've been keeping up with the boxes, it should ride you out for a little while. If you were to start now, I think you're, probably not going to be able to.
Yeah, I think you would need pretty much all your character gems plus 200k if you really wanted to be fully competitive. Like, if you wanted to be like a 2-deck wonder like Heinz Ketchum, maybe you could do it, but...
Victor Lee in the chat, 200k is weak, LMAO. I can buy his wife.
And now,
Oh my god, Vic. Alright, so swinging into the Citri, likely going to go into a level 5 Amatrix by summoning out Scrap Recycler and Syncering off.
Looks like that is indeed what he's going to do. Excellent breed from my friend Monkey Boy.
Yep, so that keeps all of his monsters alive, gives him a nice kind of 2500 body on board. Rosenix can, if he wants to, pop that Amethyst Cat next turn, go into some kind of synchro play there.
Nox says Vic Lee makes 200k just from any times.
PDS in chat with the highlight.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, you know what? I'll go for it. So, PDS in chat, full highlighted message, let's keep in mind. LMAO, you call yourself a Heinz Ketchum fan? I'm fucking loaded on channel points, bro. I highlight every message because I'm just that jacked. Try talking in chat again when you're a true fan.
Also, one of the only subscribers to my OnlyFans and Patreon, so big shout out to PDS. He gets Heinz Ketchum feet pics. He gets to see the bottom of the bottle.
Oh my gosh. The bottom though. Alright, so we're going
We have
quick.
a live
We're
impact,
just
right?
going
This
for
is
it.
lethal?
And then impact, yep.
Ooh, and the Fistbird goes in, moving the score to 7-4. The fakest of Zixes. Getting a 1-0. So Panas now 1-1. What do you think you pair with heroes here?
Well, honestly, I don't know if I 100% know. He could maybe go with like a DM. I doubt you're gonna go Saber. Okay.
Yeah,
corrected.
Ranger, basically as long as it's nothing like TOS, yeah, pretty much. Ristronsel Fefnir immediately pitching this Mige. No Transcendent Crystals, suggesting to me that there's a Crystal Beast in the hand, but it's still a fairly strong opening. There it is. Slams down his Amethyst.
You know, I keep getting caught when I keep saying, like, I don't expect them to have paired Saber in, like, instances when it's, like, clearly a good choice, but I'm surprised that they've brought 2 Saber. I just really feel like Saber's in a tough spot, especially for something like Team Wars, because it gets counterpicked pretty easy.
So Charlie Bode asked what Garucius played. He played at least Element Sabers, but he ended up repeating the deck, so we don't know what deck number 2 was. And Hideki and MA in the chat saying, I'm going to go to the Virgin Islands, and when I leave, they're just going to be called the Islands.
It's a Victor Lee quote for you guys. I mean, Max, I would argue it's in a rough spot with both. Like, side deck you get sided against, but you also can side in cards that can deal with it well. In Team Wars format, you don't have the ability to side cards, and you have a lot of naturally kind of rough matchups. So, I don't know. In my opinion, Sabres it's not as bad as people say, but it's in kind of an awkward spot for both siding and non-siding formats.
Falcon is wisely going into attack position, but an Amatrix going to move it right to defense.
I set this card face down. I set this card face down.
And kind of as you would expect here. Oh, Crystron Impact. I was going to say a couple sets from Panas with the Element Sabres. This is one thing, you know, basically the one fusion that's so difficult for other decks is Invoke Casitas, but it's the easiest one to deal with for Crystrons.
Yeah, it just kind of dies. It's very reliant on its very large defense, and Impact just wipes that out. Which is feels bad, man. Now there are 2 back row to likely be able to stop something, but there is technically lethal on board. Though I suppose he'd have to swing a Smiger, which is 1k. He can always drop Alistair to boost up to 1k to soak up an attack, but likely those back row come into play before that happens.
Yeah, I don't think he's just going to toss an alley just that quick.
Yeah, just kind of making sure I note out all the options, but yeah, most likely his back row is something passable. Though it could always be 2 floodgates. He is swinging in with this turn rather than going for lethal. He is trying to make sure that doesn't happen.
I would say too, you know, he might not even bother trying to swing with the Amatrix if it's not lethal, since he doesn't want to give his opponent Destiny draw. And very well might just end a turn here.
Yep, I don't think he will.
He lives to fight another day, and that's exactly what he is. I mean, he's a little bit clogged up, you know. He can't go into tunas.
Yeah, he's a little bit clogged. At the same time, there are no live elements for the Saber player to be able to use to fuse as of now. Now, granted, he could always top an element, he could top a field spell, but that being said, he was able to get that Casitas off by fusing off one of the graveyard monsters.
And we also know that you know, Fake Six is a very solid player. I think that he probably wouldn't opt to clog up his board for no reason. Lancia is a very common tech in Crystrons right now, and we could be seeing one in the hand, but Panas would know about that anyway because of the delays during draw phase and things.
Yeah, and I mean he can always unclog just by using like effects as well, of course. With these couple
it actually literally just tribute Lancia. It can be used from the hand or field.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah, it kind of loses the surprise factor though.
A little bit. So we do see a pop happen.
And it looks like we might be seeing a Quarian Gandrax here. Yo, Sham, what's good? Is that the war-ending Sham that I see in the chat?
Mr. Shamwow himself.
Floodgate on tuna number 2. Oh, but yeah, that Lance.
Okay, now that's interesting. So, what I was originally thinking was like, yeah, he's probably going for Quarion, it can banish out a monster, it's, you know, can threaten lethal and force a back row, but like, is that a little too early? Is that a little too greedy? But now knowing he had Lance, that gets a little more interesting.
Now, Sham saying you heard me clap yesterday. I actually didn't even play yesterday, so you heard incorrect. You were wrong.
Dang.
So that's Nalu and Casitas being banished. What
Oh,
about
that Nalu is so unfortunate too, because it was the only element he could have in hand that he couldn't actually
yeah? It
get
was Friday show.
a fusion out of.
And he's got that scrap. Yo, I mean,
'Cause
one
why
attack
not?
from Quarian goes in, and that's lethal. He does have protection from a targeting effect in the graveyard. Drops self-numbered, duh.
My monster's effect activates.
He will presumably pop the scrap, but if he weren't, the funny thing is that he could actually even swing in with scrap for 900 without triggering Deidre if he wanted to. Ooh, he might not. Okay. He's priced synchro off though. Thinking. Big thonk.
Yo, Gareth11, thank you very much for the follow.
Summon a monster. Show 'em what you can do.
Really curious as to what kind of delay he's seeing here, if any. So it does swing in. Quarion first. Okay, and that just goes through. Wow. Phase cleaning up. What does that put this score at? Is that divine at 8?
It is indeed.
8-4. Oh my gosh. Alright, no pressure, Dead Fun, but actually all of the pressure, because you're gonna need to put in a bit of a reverse sweep here.
Luckily, Dead Fun is a clapper, so, you know, BMP definitely has some options, but let's see what happens. Now, 2 decks left. They still have 1 repeat in case something goes wrong, but you definitely need something that could take on Crystron's. And it's definitely one of the harder decks to take on. And I'm not just saying that because it's my favorite. Actually, I am.
Not just saying that because it's his favorite deck. He's also saying that because he's the best duelist with his favorite deck. Is that Mr. 420 Swag YOLO Blaze It Jason in chat? Hello, Jason. So BNP at this point, so when you have 1 player left, you and also when you have 1 player left and a repeat, you've got this interesting kind of decision you've got to make as a team, I guess, which is like, all right, so we've got 2 decks. One might be better for this situation, and sometimes the other deck might be better for potentially going on the, you know, the 6-1 run that it needs to. And so you've got to do a little bit of decision making around like, kind of like, what do we actually want to spend? What do we think Dead Fun can win with overall? If we need to, like, which deck do we potentially want to use a repeat on? If it does come to that here after this next duel. It's kind of where these teams head, or where Bricks and Potatoes head is at probably right now, or some of the internal conversation.
Sorry, that short break for me there. I was just dealing with some direct messages. Some people actually talk to me, which is weird. I don't know why, but
Wait, there's a direct messages feature in Discord?
yeah, isn't that crazy? Apparently, you can also
People-
whisper on Twitch.
People
sounds
can
like
talk
that.
to you?
Yeah, I know.
I assumed that, you know, the reason I didn't have any was because it didn't exist.
Nope, it's just because you're wildly unpopular.
Oh no!
Yeah,
This is
get some
this
friends,
is devastating.
loser.
Oh, yikes! My gosh, what a morning! Been all over the
Your
place.
whole world turned upside down.
You know what, Heinz? I'm regretting what I told you at the beginning of this stream when I said that to prepare for this stream, I drank a whole bottle of Heinz ketchup for breakfast. I'm never gonna do that again now.
Oh, you swallowed it all.
Oh no.
Alright, so we got Dead Fun versus Fake Zix. The memes are over. We all know that Monkey Boy has more friends than Facebook. I don't know, but
Yeah, I have way more friend. Okay, way more friend than any of you.
Watch and learn. I special.
All right, though. So looking like Shiranui coming in here, opening Squire, solid with no mortal, so very solid counter to this deck.
What shall I play? I synchro summon
Going into that 25. Setting up his grave nicely for a follow-up next turn. No back row though, so really just gonna have to sit through this Crystron combo, whatever it be.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, they do play Lancey in the main deck quite often, but you can't use it in response to Transcendent Crystals, so this turn got to pop right off, even if he did have it.
Yep. Solve's gonna discard out to summon itself. Discards another Thistfern. Interesting. So by no means a bad hand, but possibly not the most ideal if he's got multiple copies of the same Crystron. Oh my god, I'm just looking back in chat and I got roasted. I got destroyed. Well done.
Yes, you did. Yo, Dom. Gross. Thanks for listening. Alright, everything getting banished except for the Shiranui Squire. Now, this would trigger, if he swings with that Quarian Gandrax, it would trigger No Mortal Can Resist.
It would. He's thinking.
Man, my mods are going ham right now. Hey, yo,
He's
Stevie
thinking
hit
about
Vic
it.
Lee. Dom hit Ricky. Swifty added Mofo. Dom straight up, like, all the time abuses mod power. I'm gonna have to remove his moderatorship.
Dude, he's just coming after people.
Every time he joins the chat, he's like, somebody's getting purged, man.
Alright, though, so he did go for the 2500 swing. He says, heck my graveyard.
Whoa, watch your language.
He is sacrificing all 6 of those monsters to the Skull Servant Gods. Really probably trying to capitalize on the fact that Dead Fun clearly opened with kind of an awkward hand. I mean, Squire obviously is good, but he has now since kind of mitigated any of that Squire damage. Dead Fun clearly doesn't have a lot of back row to follow up with. Now, one unfortunate thing here for anyone who might not have caught it is that Kazuki was the top decked card. So likely no more back row coming into play here. And really not a, not a ton of options.
Kazuki sending Kazuki almost as if to say, like, yeah, basically
he's
just
trying
to
to
get
fish
to
for
draw
something.
one, discard one. Yeah.
He was trying to fish for a back row is really what he wanted to do, and he's not getting that. At this point, he at least gets to put up some defense. He puts a tuner in the grave. But I don't know that that's enough.
And there goes the Snow Myrtle. No
Yep.
Mortal, very nice piece of disruption there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Skull Servants.
Yep, that's all 6 of them.
PDS says he can XZs right now.
He can open up that rank 4 toolbox. You know, drop like an Abyss Dweller on him, maybe?
Don't make me Google things, please.
Don't worry, I've never played an XYZ deck in the TCG, so I only know the couple common ones that people have dropped on me.
I summon a monster in attack position. Battle. Strike him down. Attack. You got this. Attack.
Alright. Fake taking another deck off of BNP.
And that is every single player from Divine now getting 3 wins apiece against
at minimum.
A very accomplished lineup of players, you know?
Yeah, I mean this BNP lineup is no, no B team, no slouch, no any of that. A lot of good players in here.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that A team lineup for BNP should be called A and P, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That's top tier comedy right there. That's
But as we do, I don't know, kind of try and look at this as the war's possibly coming to a close. I certainly don't want to count Dead Fun out, but he's obviously got an uphill battle coming to him. So at least what's got us up to this point, I don't know that it's been any dramatically unlucky situation. I mean, there's certainly been some, not optimal hands opened by both people or whatever. But
getting the draws of a lifetime there, really. Did you see that there's somebody named MA in the chat? He said something in the chat. Do you want to read that out for us?
Oh my gosh, I just had to refresh my stream, so I lost it, unfortunately. But I would love to see.
Does Divine have any open spots? Asking for a friend.
Ooh, so Mark has been a longtime fan from afar of Divine. I think he's just been waiting for his opportunity to jump the TZ ship and make his way over.
What? That's crazy. I had no idea.
We'll see. Check transfer news. Never know.
And that's going to be the second repeat from BNP as well. That second deck must have a terrible Crystron matchup. It's probably like Heroes or something, right?
I don't know. It could have a terrible Crystron matchup, or it could just be that they really feel like this deck is the one to be the streaking deck.
Yeah, I mean, last week, I don't know what the MCS representation looked like, but really in most of the best of 3 formats, Shiranui was the most represented deck, and by quite a large margin, so.
Yeah, for MCS, I will tell you the top cut conversion for Shira was doo-doo. I think it was, let me go back and check real quick, but I think it was like by far the most represented, and it was one of the least converted top cut decks. Yeah, so it was 27 entered with Shira yesterday, versus, for context, the next couple in line are 20 with Blackwings, 20 with Hero, then 15-15 after that. And the number converted of Shiras was 3 out of 27. Whereas reading from the top on conversions, 7 Blackwings out of 20 converted, 6 Thunder Dragon out of 15 converted. So, yeah, in a bit of a tough spot right now.
My monster's effect activates.
It's an easily accessible deck. It is a decently easy to play deck. It's overall decent, but it's definitely being kind of countered and possibly carried by some of its representation due to some of that, accessibility and easiness to use. That being said, though, it certainly still has a place in the meta. I mean, Shira, in theory at least, should be able to beat this deck decently easy as long as they can open with some real back row like they did here.
Yeah, triple back row is actually one of the things that really Crystron's doesn't really like to see. I mean, kind of Black Rose Dragon and Samurai Destroyer are really the only ways to play through it, with the exception of an impact for targeting effects. And we
Mhm.
see immediately a Cosmic Cyclone on that Amethyst Cat.
Yeah, a very high impact one as well. Does burn the Rosenix effect, but no actual resolution here.
I mean, with a Ballista Squad, I mean, threatening a very strong turn for the next turn. You know, Synchro from the grave, no mortal can resist.
Yeah, if he does have a Ballista Squad, that's pretty much ideal here. You know, non-opening Squire. Squire's obviously the ideal open, but if you can go with a Solitaire into level 2 and have a Ballista Squad to follow up, that's pretty solid as well.
Having that normal summon still, very very good for Fake Six here.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point that Smiger becomes a little bit problematic. You ideally want to stop the effect, but in terms of options, if you do Ballista it will be able to search out for that impact, which at that point becomes kind of a new problem for sure.
At least he's able to clear that Rosenix with the Smiger effect, so he will be getting a tuner on the board at least.
Mm-hmm.
And he does wisely go into the Ryon, knowing that a no mortal can resist could be imminent. And a Floodgate from Dead Fun here. Gonna flip the tuner face down, so that's normal summon burnt. Rosenix effect burnt. Oh, but he got that Lance too!
Wow. This man's got it all. I like it though.
I was gonna say, do we
respect
have
it.
the Ballista just to pop it now? Like,
Maybe? Question mark?
because like you would use it now. Like, there's always that like draw phase Ballista.
Ballista is game. Oh no, he would have definitely done Ballista
In
at that point.
response, yeah, because you wouldn't do it on your own turn because the Spectral's word has that cooldown period in the grave.
Yep. Yeah, Ballista would have been game though. He does have a 1k in attack right now. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Never mind. Ballista would not have been game because the Rion was protected from Lance. That's my bad.
Yeah, you would have changed it to the Lance, is what I was saying.
Oh, sure, yep.
That came off so aggressive when I said that. That's not what I meant. I was just saying, like,
no, you were absolutely right. I didn't think it was bad. It was totally fine.
I heard it back in my head after I had said
You're
it.
like,
It was like, wow, that sounded really rude. I wasn't trying to.
You're like, yeah, idiot. He would have changed it to the Lance. Okay, keep
God,
on.
monkeys are so dumb.
True though.
Don't you have to be like eating fleas off the back of your mom or something today? What the hell?
Maybe.
You know, like how monkeys, and it's Mother's Day, so I was kind of combining
Yeah.
the two.
Monkey
Anyway.
Mom and I, we have a day scheduled to go throw some poop, you know, as monkeys do.
Aqua Glider with a top tier quote in the chat. That's pretty good. I like that. Surprise! Yeah, Crystron, Ryan Reynolds gonna make 8 powered Inzectron to walk and Wawaku.
Crystal Beast I'm counting on you. I synchro summon a monster. That won't work. And my monster's effect activates.
And he's gonna hit the Smire. Gonna give him that impact search.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do, man?
I draw.
Why did I skip it? What did I skip? What did I skip? That won't work.
My monster's effect activates.
Wait, what did we skip? What did we skip? Hello?
I don't know. The cat line. Oh, I'm sorry, PDS. I'm sorry. I'll try not to let it happen again.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Dom. You're on timeout for a while. You've abused your powers far too long.
I'm setting a card. Crystal.
Oh, I did it again!
Heinz.
Crystal
Come
Beast
on.
Amethyst Cat is on the prowl! I hope that makes up for it.
That's arguably better.
Go, Amethyst Cat. Amethyst power.
I know is.
Amethyst Power Pounce!
Okay.
Here's my.
I did a previously on Yu-Gi-Oh! For Big Daddy the other night, and she said it made her shiver. So, oh my god, Econ!
He had it absolutely all. I was kind of wondering. I was like, all right. I mean, I guess you do have to swing into the 2 either way, but like, this is
That
going to be an
ends
unfortunate
it. It's
fallout
all
from Dead Fun. That is the
over.
war. 10-4. Oh my gosh. That's a big blowout. I mean, absolutely no shade, but like 10-4 is
I don't think we've ever
that's
casted
a
a
big
10-4.
win. No, we for sure haven't. This is the first match Heinz and I've ever casted that's gone below.
10-8?
I think like 10-8. Maybe there was one 10-7 once.
Yeah, it's possible.
But wow, well done to Divine. I mean, you guys showed up. You guys played consistently well and capitalized on good hands and made use of bad ones, and I'm impressed.
It is very, very solid, and that's going to be the second deck from Devon there. So Fake Zix with a nice clean of 4-0 to wrap it up, and the Gods, Victor, Lee, and Max each with a 3-2 score, and dealing out some 0-2s along the way was Divine, and it's going to be a good season here for Divine by the looks of things, man. That's 2-0, nice and early. Divine's
Yeah, that's a
Dojo,
strong
Mr.
start.
Destiny in the chat right now saying Season Divine. So
There it is. You heard it first.
they didn't use a single repeat. Burnt both of Bricks and Potatoes repeats. And
Yep.
it's going to be that right there. So
Yeah, B&P just threw it all at him, man. Like you said, they didn't have to use a repeat. B&P sent in some counter decks. Those counter decks unfortunately didn't work. Used them again. Again, didn't work. Dang.
we gotta find another Team Wars match to host here because we got a busy weekend. I don't think we're even gonna have time for a interview. So we're just gonna head right into the next match, which is X Hunters versus Death Row with Godic Demon 98. So please, guys, go enjoy that, and we're gonna hit the Godic Demon with the raid. And peace out to all you guys. Thanks for joining us. And thank you, Monkey Boy, for joining me in the booth. And thank you, Hazy, for refereeing the match, as well as our players from Bricks and Potatoes and Divine. And congrats to Divine. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Any final
Thanks,
words, Monkey?
guys.
All right.
Nope, just thanks, guys, and thanks to Heinz. Take care.
Peace out.